What is up? Welcome back to the Next Guy Up podcast. It is just me and Tins today. Mason off on his anniversary trip to the Bahamas.
To the most magical place on earth.
He's
G-Berg.
I think he's embezzling pod funds for these trips, personally. Yeah, I think they're not in the Bahamas. I think they're somewhere.
I don't know where our Pringles sponsorship money went.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now that I'm checking the
sponsors and no money from it. Shout out to Mason. Hope you're having fun.
Yeah, you're under investigation though when you get back.
Yeah, Mason is out for today, and so we're gonna hold it down. We got a lot of football to cover. Big football, good football,
good football.
Some fun games.
Very fun NFL playoffs. This is why we get up on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and watch Panthers, Giants, and Germany. It's for games like this weekend. We've had some instant classics. It's been a good, yeah, definitely lost some bets. That comes with the territory. We'll get there. We always come back for what they stole from us.
Yeah, we're so as we record, we are in the middle of the Bills-Ravens game. So we have that kind of in the background here. So maybe we'll give some live updates as we go. Spoiler alert: we're on the Bills pretty heavy. So go Bills. We had some fun games yesterday though as well. Do we want to jump into games? How are we feeling, Tins?
Yeah, we can do that.
No, we have college football tomorrow as well. We can talk through. So
we'll talk through, kind of give a little bit of a preview and what we're thinking, and then it's the last game, so we will give our thoughts on what is going on there. But yeah, no, NFL wise, I think Texans Chiefs. I had to listen to the game. I was driving yesterday.
Yeah.
Pretty uneventful game, it seems like. Texans fans and players are pretty quick to go online and start blaming the refs. Here's a fun fact for you. Texans, you let your quarterback get sacked 8 times, committed 4 more penalties than the Chiefs, gave up 3 fourth-down conversions to the Chiefs, missed 2 extra points and a field goal. The refs didn't make you miss those field goals and extra points. So before we go blaming the refs 100%, you should probably just step up and be a better team.
Hard to win a game when you get sacked 8 times.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like some metrics about that. How many teams win getting sacked 8 times?
I know of one.
Like it's not very good.
I know of one. The Bengals did that to the Titans a couple years ago.
Oh, gosh.
Because that started getting thrown around too.
That checks out. Yep, that makes sense. I did catch a good bit of this game, and it was I think you're right. It was pretty uneventful. Texans kind of held into it for longer than I thought they were. It was pretty competitive through the second half, which I mean, there was not really a point where I was like, I think CJ Stroud and the boys are pulling this one off. You never hit that moment, really.
Yeah. I feel like anytime they started to get some momentum or maybe take a chance to get it back to a 1-score game, the Chiefs just do what they always do. They'd come up with a big sack or,
as they do.
Right. I mean, it's just what the Chiefs do, man. And when
was an ultra spread killer with the safety at the very end, the 9.5 point spread.
Shout out if you had the 9.5. That's tough.
I saw some people with that one. Which is funny.
It's always funny ending game stuff like that when you lose a spread that you should have won easily, but
up 10, the last play of the game essentially. That's rough.
That's a tough way to lose it.
There was I think the much more interesting game happened later on.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the game of the year? I don't know, man. It was this Commanders team. Boy, are they ahead of schedule.
Yeah, it's starting to get into a little bit of like team of destiny type situation. They feel like that
like they've caught lightning in a bottle.
Just keep winning. Yeah. and they've got the Eagles next week, which we'll get to. But fun team, truly pretty fun team to watch. What about you?
I could not have been any more wrong on Jane Daniels. I did not think his style would translate to the NFL. Legitimately, I know I've like done this because I'd like Cliff Kingsbury to be the Jags next head coach, but
Yeah,
legitimately shout out to him. He has built an offense like perfect for Jaden Daniels. They, like I've said, they're ahead of schedule. They've got a lot of like veteran 1-year deal guys as starters to kind of jumpstart this rebuild under Dan Quinn. Like they've really got something going here. Jaden Daniels is electric. He's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's amazing. Like, I mean, it's really fun to watch him. He makes plays that's like, oh wow, he shouldn't be making plays like that as a rookie. Like not just running the ball but throwing. He's so accurate. It's been fun to watch.
yeah, really fun for a rookie. I'm happy for. It feels it's just interesting that he's the one that's worked out so well. Like, but I think they're a fun team. It's fun to have someone new in the mix. I think.
Yeah.
It's like the Eagles are there, who've been there a lot of times, and they've been there a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Against the Commanders is a really interesting matchup with this team that's super young, got this rookie quarterback.
Divisional rivals.
Yeah.
They've played twice. And it's fun to have like this really young, good quarterback in the NFC because you kind of feel like the AFC is the loaded side when it comes to quarterbacks because of Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, and then, when you get into the younger guys of like CJ, Herbert, Tua, Trevor, like the AFC has always been the really loaded side. And the NFC, it's like Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff. Like that's really, like, you could throw Dak out there, but Jaden Daniels been elite. And to think, like everyone kept talking about how Caleb Williams was going to land in the most perfect situation for a first overall draft pick, like solid O-line, 3 really good receivers, and Jaden Daniels is out here doing what he's doing with a bunch like Noah Brown, Crowder, Jonathan Crowder is like one of his starting wide receivers. That dude's been in the NFL. I remember playing with him on Madden in like 2015. Like guys still just it's just crazy. Like they are not supposed to be here right now, and they are because of Jaden Daniels. And it's been fun to watch. But poor Lions.
I know. Let's do Lions talk.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson, your boy.
Yeah, Ben Johnson.
I need your. Let's do the Ben. You want to do the Ben? You want to do the Ben Johnson thing now?
Sure, I'll do the Ben Johnson thing now. Okay. So apparently Ben Johnson's the favorite now. So I might have to walk back some stuff.
If you didn't listen to last episode, Ben Johnson was number 3.
Yeah, Ben Johnson he fell to number 3.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about number 3 is maybe I'm an idiot. I was real wrong about Jaden Daniels. I was really excited about Urban Meyer right before the season started when he was the coach. I thought we were going to take over the world once Doug Peterson was hired. So maybe it's a good thing I could be a little bit wrong. Maybe Ben Johnson could be elite. If Ben Johnson is hired because we fired Trent Baalke for him, then I'll be hype. But I think my sneaking suspicion of he's kind of a goofball showed itself in this game. You're down 2 scores and you run a trick play with your wide receiver throwing the ball in a very, very critical moment in the fourth quarter. What is that play call? That was really dumb.
It's the play call where if it worked, he would look like a genius.
Yeah.
And people would be like, wow, this guy is dialing it up.
I responded.
You look like an idiot.
Yeah. I responded to one of my Jags Twitter guys said something and I responded and I was like, yeah, I can't wait for all these trick plays that he's going to run in Jacksonville, and they're going to end up just like that one every time, and we're going to be the laughing stock because it worked for the Lions. It's never going to work for us. So yeah, I don't know. After last night, I don't want it as much as I did 2 months ago.
It's tough,
but I don't know. The Lions, they just I want to feel bad for them.
Yeah.
But I also don't. kind of thing, because they're like the everyone's Cinderella story, and everyone was rooting for them, but I wasn't.
Not chance.
Not me. Probably because they started their rebuild the same time as us, and we should be where they are, but we're really bad and they're really good. And they're loaded. I think they'll be okay. They're probably going to lose both their coordinators to head coaching jobs. I think they'll figure that out and come back strong next year. But NFC, like we just talked about with Washington, it's getting tougher. Jaden Daniels, you would think the Bears will be better with potentially Ben Johnson as their new head coach for Caleb Williams. So yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like maybe this was their best chance, and they blew it.
Since I've got one more question for you. If you had to pick today, the true.
Oh boy,
I know you're not going to answer this honestly, but I'm going to ask you anyways.
I'll answer it honestly.
If you had to pick, if you were offered Jane Daniels, Trevor Lawrence, starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars next year.
Yeah, no,
for the future.
I still take Trevor. I still believe in 24-year-old Trevor Lawrence. I've seen what he can do. Now Jane Daniels is amazing, and I enjoy watching him, but there's always going to be that factor of him getting injured because he is such a he depends on his run ability a lot. He's not the biggest guy, so yeah, that's why I'd stick with Trevor.
I think there's an interesting case study that we're going to see of which obviously Jane Daniels is still playing football right now, but of the CJ Stroud sophomore slump where his rookie year was pretty electric as well.
Yeah.
And his second year, he took a decent step back.
Right.
For whatever reason. And who knows?
A lot of times
there's probably lots of reasons, but
the coordinators start figuring out your weaknesses, and you get game planned for. It's hard to game plan for a rookie that you've only seen play in college and then a few games in the NFL. So, but I don't know. Something about Jane Daniels makes me feel like he's here to stay. Like,
you're a known Stroud hater, so
I always have been, even in college. I didn't like CJ Stroud in college either.
Yeah, he did it all season though. It wasn't like a flash. He doesn't feel like a flash in the pan kind of quarterback who did it once. He had like 5 or 6 really good games, and the rest was kind of just mediocre, and it's enough to make the public opinion pretty high.
Right.
If you be consistent.
If you truly look at CJ Stroud's rookie year, it's not anything to write home about. He just happened to win the division because the Jaguars choked away an 8-3 record down the stretch.
It did happen.
So
it's pretty tough.
Yeah, it was tough, but that is not here nor there. Oh, also shout out the Texans player coming onto the sideline and shoving his coach and starting a fist fight on the sideline.
What a weird thing that was.
D'Amico Ryan, shout out. You talk about integrity and how much class your team has, and those aren't the things you coach. After the whole Ashir whatever his name is incident, it looks like that's what you coach and that's what you allow on your team. It's a bunch of hotheads who are out here pushing your coordinators. Couldn't be my team, I'll tell you that.
Jacksonville Jaguars, team of integrity.
I'm just saying.
Make the t-shirt. Okay. Move to today.
Yeah. I have fun game. Lower scoring, a lot of weird
snow, very snowy.
Yeah, the weather played a big impact on this game. I feel like the Rams just kept fumbling the ball on plays that
Matthew Stafford literally just
dropping the ball. Yeah. But they were in it the whole time.
It was.
You take away probably one of those turnovers, and I think they have a chance to win the game.
They go down 13 with 4 minutes left.
Yeah,
and it really felt over. I felt like it was done.
Yeah,
and boy, it was not done.
Boy, was it not.
They were right there.
Shout out Jake Elliott for missing that extra point for all you Rams plus 7 holders.
True. I mean, it was one play away.
I know, but the thing about the Eagles, their defense is great. Their pass defense is a little suspect, and they lost one of their starting corners today. So that'll be interesting against Washington. But it's like, how far can Saquon Barkley take this Eagles team? Because he had, I think, he was touching 300 total yards of offense today and 3
Sheesh.
touchdowns. I mean, he was everything. And Jalen Hurts, I know it's snowing and the weather was bad, but something's not been right about his throwing for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Like, something's off. So I don't know. I'm feeling like Washington's live in this game. Like, it could be dangerous. It might be
I think it's gonna be a
underdog
fun. I
time.
think it's gonna be a fun game. If you look at the quarterback like play across the conference championships next week, it's gonna be Jalen Hurts. It's gonna be Patrick Mahomes. It's gonna be either Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Probably Josh Allen. We're gonna speak that into existence. They're ahead right now.
Might have
Even though the Ravens about to score.
Yep.
Or just did score.
They just scored, going for 2. If you're waking up Monday morning, you already heard this. No good. All right.
So Buffalo has the lead going into the 4th, probably. But you look at that landscape. I mean, you're talking about 3 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, plus Jane Daniels.
Where does he rank right now?
I know.
The way he's playing?
Great question. Yeah, I think the postseason like quarterback rankings is going to be really, really interesting to look and see where everybody lands.
Yeah.
Whoever you count as the Titans quarterback will be last, I think. Maybe the Browns quarterback. Whoever you want to attribute to the Browns would probably be last. But Titans are right there.
But maybe not for long. I mean, you'll have Dak or
okay. We don't have time for this today, Thins.
Shador.
So a fun game. Saquon Barkley. I was trying to look up his stats. That's when I was. He had 205 rushing yards.
Wow.
He had 27 receiving yards. So 230 total yards.
That's ridiculous.
That's pretty good. Jalen Hurts had 128 passing yards. So you do the math, crunch the numbers there. Saquon Barkley. I mean, Saquon had 1 long run as well.
2. I think he had a 60.
Jalen Hurts had 1 really long run.
Oh, yeah. He had a 44-yard rush. First drive of the game. And you kind of felt like, oh, okay, the Eagles are going to play bully ball here and not be able to, the Rams are going to be able to stop them. But the Rams defense played well. Shout out their defensive line. They were playing against the best offensive line. They got, I think, 7 sacks total. Jared Verse, who was me and Mason's pick for Defensive Rookie of the Year, like, he showed out. So I think the Rams are going to be – I think next year – I think they're going to load up this offseason and go one more run at the Super Bowl with Stafford, because I think after next season, Stafford's a free agent. So looking at 2026, that'll be a future I take is Rams, because I think they're going to load up for one more time, one more rodeo.
That's a scary team. That defense could be scary.
Yeah. I mean, you take out weather conditions today, and I think they win that game. You take out the Kyron Williams fumble was crazy. That Matthew Stafford fumble was uncharacteristic of him, and he couldn't move. Like, Stafford's not really mobile anyway, but the snow made it to where he couldn't even run around at all. I think if there wasn't snow and mud, like the field wasn't all muddy and hard to maneuver, I think they would have won that game. But coulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yep, it's true. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
And then this game tonight feels like the winner's going to win the MVP between Josh and Lamar. They're the 2 favorites.
You think that's not decided yet?
I don't think it is. I don't think they have to have the votes in by now, but I could be wrong.
Wow. That is.
I think they take playoff
High
performance
stakes.
into consideration. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we'll know the results of that when
It's
this
shaping up
podcast
to be
comes
a
out.
fun one. Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
looks like
shaping
we're
up
going
to
to
be
have a
good.
good fourth quarter here.
Okay. Do we want to dive into a little bit of some college ball?
Yeah. I've crunched some numbers, and
Oh.
unsurprisingly, it's all Ohio State for me.
Mm.
And I have a take. I think Ohio State, if they win the coin toss, should elect to receive the ball,
Yeah.
be ultra aggressive, and go score.
Yep.
Go for it on fourth downs. Don't get into don't let Notre Dame muddy it up with you, because then they
Yep.
do have a chance. If you want to get
They
into a
want to make it gross,
slugfest,
low
yeah,
scoring.
don't get in a slugfest with them, because their defense is good enough to do that, and their run game will be able to keep Ohio State off the field if you let them.
Yeah.
So I would score early and often, be ultra aggressive. Jeremiah Smith has to be more of a factor than he was the last game. I mean, surprisingly, Texas took him out of the game and everybody else stepped up. But
I think Notre Dame does the same thing.
Yeah,
they're just going to say anyone else is going to beat us than Jeremiah Smith.
I don't know that they have the secondary for it. Notre Dame's defensive line is very, very good. Their linebackers are a strength. I'm not so sure about their secondary, but the thing is, I'd probably give Notre Dame's defense the edge over. Like, if you're going Ohio State's offense better than Notre Dame's, obviously.
Much better.
Notre Dame's defense is better than Ohio State's defense, probably by a margin. But then I give the coaching margin significantly to Marcus Freeman, to be honest.
He's coached very, very well.
He's a very good coach. I mean, he's already getting NFL considerations.
Outmaneuvered Kirby Smart.
Yep.
I mean, he's beat some good programs.
With less talent.
Yeah.
So that's where I think Ryan Day has to come out and just out 5-star them. You can't get into you can't exchange punches. You're going to have to come out and just hit them like a UFC fight. Take them down early and don't stop until it's over.
Yep. Notre Dame has relied all season on their turnover to push. Their offense isn't capable to kind of perform by itself. You've got to get them in good situations through turnovers and things like that. And so that's going to be a big thing. Does Will Howard throw any interceptions? Do we see any? I mean, I think that's going to be a key to the game. Can Notre Dame create those situations and, like you said, muddy the waters, turn into kind of a gross slugfest? Because if it's just a straight up matchup, I think Ohio State will win comfortably. This game is a struggle for me. I don't even know who I'm rooting for. I think I'm rooting for Notre Dame.
Oh,
but I also really don't want Notre Dame.
What a 180 from Zach.
Is that a 180 for me? I just hate Ohio State.
I know, but you bet on Notre Dame not even to make the playoffs.
That's true. If it was anybody else, I think I would be. It's truly hard for me. I'm excited to see what the numbers look like on this game, because I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to be down from past years.
Yeah,
I think and I know that I'm biased and I run in SEC circles, and that's kind of and so for people who are fans of football in the South, I think this game loses a lot of luster, being Notre Dame, Ohio State. I know they're national brands. I just don't know. I'm excited. I'm interested to see it. I don't know. It's for me, my interest level in this game is much lower than it would be if it was a team that was from my area of the country and was an SEC powerhouse, something like that. Just because this is not a matchup I care very much about.
Yeah, no,
it's kind of a bummer because I'm not saying they're the two best teams in the country right now. They may very well be the two best performing teams. That's just kind of a bummer matchup. At the end of the playoffs, we get where we're at, and now we're here, and it's like
No, yeah, I agree. If I did not place a future parlay including Ohio State when the playoffs started, I would be watching Rutgers Penn State college basketball instead. They're on at the same time. So
Yeah, I think some of the discourse about the Ohio State Michigan game and how there's Ohio State fans are just so annoying. They're still crying about this game and they're playing in the national championship, and part of that is just crazy to me.
yeah, they're acting like their
It just
season
makes me
was
sick.
ruined.
They're like, we don't even care if we win. We lost to Michigan, so it doesn't even matter. And
Yeah.
I understand what rivalry games mean. I mean, I do.
But they're
But I'm
letting
also
it
like, could you guys just
consume
shut
them.
up and just, what are you talking about? Like, go play in the national championship game and just chill.
Who cares about Michigan?
Like, what? Yeah, Michigan's at home because they lost 5 games this season. Like, what? Who cares?
Michigan's
that just is
rent
annoying
in
to
their
me.
head 100%.
They are in their head. I mean, it is funny. I do. I'm happy they lost because it was a funny thing. They don't. They can't. They always have something to like as an asterisk in their own minds, at least, which is kind of funny. But you don't. I mean, this would never happen, which is what makes college football better. Like what it is, you never hear a NFL team talking like that.
Right.
You know, like we lost to our rivals. And
right, like if the Chiefs end up winning the Super Bowl this year, it's like, well, it doesn't really matter because we lost Week 17 against the Denver Broncos, 38-0. Like the season's ruined.
Yeah,
like, nope, sure don't care.
But I mean, it's rooted in traditionally, like Tennessee and Florida used to be like this, where whoever won that game kind of had the path to the national championship or to the SEC championship at least laid out for you. I know that's similar with Ohio State. That game used to kind of be a play-in game for postseason play and for the national championship a lot of times. And so I get like the history behind it. It's also just really annoying. So, and then the other side, Notre Dame is just not in the conference, which just makes me perpetually just really frustrated. So these teams both just get under my skin.
I agree.
Shout out to them, though. All right. And that is going to be it for today. We hope you all have a great week. Enjoy the national championship tomorrow. We will be back to break it all down and look ahead to your conference championship matchups. So be with us then. Have a great week, and we will see you later.